back to Style with Substance. Today I'm going to be taking you through an updated version of what's in my makeup bag. So I'm just going to run through some of the items that I've been keeping in here of late. I have a video on my channel already with this very same makeup bag. It was very shortly after I got it. But some of the things that I keep in here have changed quite significantly. So I thought, what better thing to do than to run you through what I'm carrying around in here on a daily basis. So if you like the sound of that, then please keep watching. So I'm just going to open up the bag and just start randomly pulling stuff out. So the first thing in here is a mascara. This is from Primark and this is a Volume Boost mascara. I've only been using this really because I ran out of my last one, and I remember when I went to Primark one time, I think it was the one on Oxford Street, I just picked up a bunch of different things and this was in that item. Apologies, neighbour's dog's barking in the background. So I wouldn't normally use this, but it's something that I've been using of late because I need to top up on my everyday mascara that I like using. But it's pretty decent. It's got quite a thick wand, so it's good for volume, definitely. But I prefer a different type of wand. But anyway, you'll hear more about that later. So that's the first thing. The second thing is my waterproof liquid eyeliner. This is from the brand Vital, and this is essentially black. It's got one of those tips on it, and I don't use this on an everyday basis, but I use it definitely for my sort of filming makeup looks. The next thing I have in here is a lip liner. So this is MAC Cork lip liner, and I tend to switch in between this and Chestnut, which I will show you shortly. I then also have a MAC blush. So this is in the colour Love Thing. It's one of their mineralised blushes rather, and it's a gorgeous pink. I'm wearing it on my cheeks today. You might not be able to see, maybe. But it's gorgeous. I love it. It just kind of looks like that. And it's got speckles of sort of shimmer in it as well. The next thing in my makeup bag, which is definitely a tried and true, is my Sleek Contour Kit. This is in the dark shade. So it comes with a contour shade, which you can see I'm already hitting pan on, and almost, I guess what they would say is a highlighter, but I don't really use that too much. Although that would probably make a really good eyeshadow, I suspect. Let's just kind of see. Yeah, it's quite shimmery. I wouldn't use it as a highlighter, but you know, hey, whatever. So yeah, I guess you could say this was a contour and highlight palette if you like, but I would use this colour as an eyeshadow. I've then got my Betty Luminizer highlighter from the Balm, and that obviously just looks like that. It's my everyday highlight. I use it on my cheeks, down the bridge of my nose, on the tip now. Desi Perkins taught me. It seems to be really big, like this highlight in the tip of your nose, but you've definitely got to know how to do it for your nose shape. And sometimes I also use it under my under the arch of my brow as well, just to give it a bit more definition. Then, yeah, as mentioned, I've also got my Chestnut lip liner in here, and this is kind of the one that I use the most. I'm actually wearing it on my lips today. Then I've got my Revlon Super Lustrous lipstick in the colour Mink 671. So it's basically run out, so basically I need to go and buy another one, but I'm also wearing that on my lips today. Then I have this Milani blush in Luminoso. So it's a baked powder blush, but I use it as an eyeshadow because it looks like that, and that would never show up on my cheeks in this colour. So it's a really good eyeshadow colour. It also comes with a little brush here, should you need it, but I don't think I've ever used it, so it's probably still in, that's why it's still in its packaging. I then have this Essence brown eyebrow designer, and it comes with one of those really cool brush tip thingies, which I really like. I kind of use this to kind of brush through the centre of my brows, just to make them look a bit more natural and not too like defined. Not one for the Scouse brow look. Some people might be, but just doesn't really work for me. And I also use this as an eyeliner as well. I like to interchange lip liners and eyeliners, not the MAC ones per se, but some of the drugstore ones. If it's a lip liner, I tend to use it as an eyeliner, just because I think it's quite easy to work with more creamy products. And sometimes I will use this just at the end of my brows to define. So I got in here, I've got my Sleek Brow Kit in light, which really I'm only using for this bad boy here, which is it's like a creamy texture, but I use it to define under my brows. I'm really running out of this, so I'm gonna have to start using my concealer to do that. I've also got some MAC Studio Fix Fluid in NW58, which I use for contouring, cream contouring. So I chisel out just under my cheekbones there, sometimes around my forehead and down the sides of my nose, just to make it look slimmer. And I really like this for that. I don't think I would probably ever buy or ever need to buy a contour product, because this does a great job and it dries matte and it stays on for a really long time. So Studio Fix Fluid if you're looking for a cream contour but you don't want to buy a whole palette of colours that you're not necessarily really going to use, are you? Then I have this Sleek pressed powder in Wood Smoke, which has rubbed off beyond all measure because I've nearly finished it and it looks like that. But there's still a tiny little bit around the edges that I'm squeezing out, but I know I'm going to have to go back and buy another one. I actually bought this powder, funny story, thinking that it would be the right shade for me as just a powder foundation. Got it onto my face and it was way too dark, but it was giving me quite a bronzy sun-kissed look. So I thought, let me use it as a bronzer, and it's perfect for that. So I'm definitely gonna, this is a great drugstore alternative to the Guerlain Terracotta Bronzer, which everyone seems to like for like darker skin tones. So there you go. I think they're about £7 or something like that, £6.99. Then I have my MAC Blot Powder. So it's a pressed powder in the shade Deep Dark. Looks like that. And I've been using this to set basically my whole face, set my foundation. And it's really, really, really good. It definitely keeps me matte for a lot longer than my other powders used to, my sleek powders, for example. And it's just the right shade, it's just the perfect shade for me, so I've been loving using this. Yeah, I've got my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NC45, which I've used under my eyes today. This is a good concealer if you have really dark under eye circles, if you don't want your concealer to crease or budge. Fantastic. I tend to use a different concealer, which is the Estee Lauder Double Wear concealer, but I actually tried something different today. So I use this to colour correct before I put my foundation on, and then once I put my foundation on, I use this under my eyes to kind of highlight, and that worked really, really well. Like, my foundation had a really even, flawless look. So yeah, but on a day-to-day basis, I use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer in the shade New Medium Deep. If I buy this again, I'd buy it a bit darker because this is way too light for me. If you compare the two, you can kind of see the difference. This is really the shade I should be buying. Then, my Holy Grail foundation, Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the shade Rich Cocoa. This has fast become one of my favourite foundations ever. 1, stays matte, 2, it stays in place, and 3, it doesn't transfer. People rave about this on YouTube, or there was a time that people were really raving about this, and I can see why. Like, it's absolutely brilliant, and it feels really expensive. The packaging is gorgeous. Love this gold tip. Like, it's woo. I would feature it in every favourites video I'm doing, but you guys will get sick of hearing about it. But this, if you have oily skin, this is you right here. There is about 30 millilitres in this, but you only need a tiny, 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 tiny bit, because if you cake it on, it does start to look a bit not so great. But you don't need that much, and like, it's just it's amazing. Then I have a MAC lipstick. So this is one of their matte lipsticks in Velvet Teddy, which I use in the centre of my lips just to create a bit of an ombre effect. I also have my Benefit Professional primer. I'm in the market for a new primer, so if anyone can recommend something that is even more pore filling than this, please do. I've heard a lot about the Dr. brand Pores No More, so that might be next on my list to try. But this has served me well for now. As you can see, it's very dirty and very loved. Then I have my Duo Eyelash Adhesive Glue. This is great. It dries dark. And this is what I use to put on my lashes all the time. Haven't used anything else since. It's fantastic. And finally, I have my MAC Dip Down Fluid Line, which I use for my brows. So it's basically like a brow, gel? Not gel, I don't know. Brow gel, brow paste. I did try to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. Didn't work for me colour-wise. It just kept coming out ashy, and I bought 2 different shades. So this for me was perfect. I'm wearing this on my brows now. And you don't have to worry about your brows smudging, which was the worst thing ever when I used to use like pencil products. This definitely stays in place for a very long time, so love this. So yeah, that is, oh no, I've got some tweezers in here which I use to tweeze things. I get the odd like hair on my chin, so that's why. So that is everything that I keep in my trusty H&M makeup bag. I got this online a little while ago, but it's deceivingly big. It's pretty big, and I love the texture on the outside. It means that even if you get it really dirty, it doesn't show up because it's so shiny and whatnot. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. My memory card got full, so I had to cut out, change my hairstyle, and come back and film this outro. But yes, that's everything I keep in my makeup bag. Stay tuned for my next video. I upload all my style and beauty videos on a Thursday, and all my lifestyle and advice and tips videos on a Tuesday. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram. It will be linked on either side. I'm also on Snapchat, Depop, Facebook and Twitter, and all the links will be in the description box below. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!